Hello everyone, welcome to our Psychology Graduate Association PGS channel. I'm Rachel Goh, a certified international hypnotherapist and volunteer to be the MC of these sessions. Before we begin, I would like to introduce what is psychology. Psychology is the scientific study of human mind and behavior, so we learn everything of human. It is just like we scientifically learn everything of animal from Discovery Channel. So let's begin our discovery of human resilience. I believe that most of us know that resilience is very subjective and depends on the subject matter. So today we have invited volunteers who are professionals to share about their thoughts and stories.
Hello, I'm Peck, and I was a psychology graduate from Utah. Currently, I'm working as an interior designer. So I guess most of you must be wondering how I end up in this industry instead. But actually, this is not the topic that we are going to talk about today, right? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Today we are
uh,
talking about resilience. Yes.
so actually, right after I finished my final exams, I started my first job in a rather special industry, which is bereavement care, or in layman term, it's called the funeral industry. So my role is a funeral MC. I conduct funeral processions, usually for Buddhist cases, Taoist cases, or free thinker cases, if there's any. So usually when I tell others about this job that I was doing, their reactions will be like, what's that? Like, they'll be asking, 是不是那种站在旁边啊，讲一鞠躬再鞠躬，加手谢礼 this kind of questions 啦。And then they would be quite curious. Yeah.
I'm so
So
curious about that. Can you say more about that?
okay, they might perceive this kind of job as a rather simple one because they would ask questions like, this kind of job, usually uncle auntie will do it or not. So well, I would say the answer would be yes, but no, partly correct lah. Because as a funeral MC, it's not just about giving commands or giving directions to tell the family members what to do. It's also about knowing different practices of every religion, the beliefs, and then also about handling the entire atmosphere of the ceremony to ensure the procession is in order. Yeah. So in fact, it is similar as those MCs for other events like weddings and etc. And the only difference is that we are working under a funeral setting. And most likely the atmosphere that we are handling is much more solemn and serious and less fun and less happiness.
Okay.
So
what actually you handle in there?
So actually, apart from understanding the procedure of entire ceremony, we also need to understand that each cases is individual case because each family is different family. So even though the procedure could be similar, there are still differences from the choices of religion to the mother tongue that they are using at home or any or their family background, any sensitive issues that we need to avoid. Because this kind of ceremony, there is no rehearsal and then everything is in one shot. If you did something wrong, there will be no second take. So tiny mistakes will always be magnified, especially about death, and people take it very seriously. So we need to understand the family before we start or before we proceed with the procession. Yeah, so usually we'll try to avoid any sensitive issues or try to handle the ad hoc events that will happen during the procession. And then to make sure the ceremony will go well and it's comfortable for the bereaved family. So usually the day before funeral procession, because funeral procession is usually on the last day. So the day before funeral procession, as an MC, we need to interact with the family members. We will explain to them the entire flow of the ceremony to understand if they have any special request. And the most important thing is that we also play a role as a listener. Because during the ceremony, there's a session for eulogy presentation, which means that that is when we would present the last words from the family members to the deceased or to their beloved ones. So it's like a final confession. So frankly speaking, the capability to write is also very important for an MC. We need to filter the contents, we need to beautify the words and say something that is dedicated particularly for each family members, for each family.
So how long do you work in this funeral company?
Around 1.5 years.
Oh.
I think one of the cases that is most serious one that I handle, apart from VIP case, another case is I'm not sure whether you have heard before or not. There's in 1 year, I think 2017, the whole family they went for Qingming, and then they are encountered with a car accident, and then all 6 family members passed away.
Oh, I heard it before. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, this is the first time I handle this kind of cases. Like 6 caskets in the parlor. Usually there'll be only 1 casket, right? And then in this case, it's like 6 casket, 6 coffin in the parlor. And then when we are conducting the casket sealing ceremony, the service consultant, they need to nail the casket. And then it's like at one time, at the same time, 6 caskets are being sealed. And then you listen to the thudding of the nail, like boom, boom, boom. It's like, oh my God, I cannot imagine how is my reaction if I am the bereaved family. Because at that time, like six family members passed away. Because 6 of them went for Qingming together. And then the only one who stay at home is the grandmother. So it's like the grandmother is sending off the younger one. Yeah. So it's quite sad.
Yeah, quite sad.
Yeah.
So while during the first time you handle this kind of serious case, what actually you because you are in that place, like with their family, so do you like being affected by the emotions from the family?
Actually, one of the things that my manager told me when I first entered this job, when I first started this job, my manager told me one of the very important things as an MC is that you need to control your emotion, because you are the conductor. If the process is affected by your own emotion, then how are you going to handle the entire scene or entire ceremony? So no matter how, we have to be calm, but of course some of the time will be affected by the emotion that the family members are experiencing, because usually when we are presenting eulogy, especially those family members, they write themselves and they ask us to present on. Those are very, very, they will feel very touching on, and then they will, their emotional will like lost control. So usually this kind of situation, what I can do is just, I will slow down the entire progress. Give them some time to like calm down a little bit before I move on to another section of the ceremony. Because I'm standing there, I'm not allowed to go and like comfort them or give them some consolation, things like that. So what I can do is just, I will try to slow down the tempo a little bit, let them calm down.
Okay. So actually, why you will like enter this funeral company?
I'm curious of the operation of funerals. Actually, when I first applied for this industry, I didn't aim to become a funeral MC.
Okay, you are aiming for?
I was aiming for the white lady. I'm not sure you heard it. The beautician to help dress up, the makeup one. But when I first received my telephone interview, the manager, she called me, she said, white lady department is already full. And then I told her, I said, I want to be under operation. I don't want to sit in the office. I want to be part of the operation. And then she was like, actually we got a department very lack of manpower, very lacking of manpower. So I asked, what is that? And she said, MC is about conducting funerals. And that's the first time I heard about this kind of job also. So when I went for interview in KL, I was trying to give myself a challenge because I'm not a spokesperson kind of people. And actually standing in front and like giving speech, like conducting this kind of ceremony is like, wow, it's a big challenge.
Okay. So how do you overcome the challenging moment?
Okay, so actually regarding handling this kind of challenge, I would say based on customer service, because we are part of customer service, right? So this is considered as dealing customers, and at times we'll encountered with different kinds of like words from those customers, especially when they are under negative emotions. And then when we stand in front, we need to make sure everything we say is correct, because this kind of ceremony, if for more happier kind of ceremony, tiny mistakes, people will be like open an eye and close another eye.
Yeah.
But this kind of ceremony, you say something wrong, it will be a very big mistake already. Yeah. So I will try to, every time before I conduct a ceremony, I will make sure I am well prepared. I will prepare very well for the speech that I'm going to give out. Yeah. And then I will practice many times before I stand up to the front and yeah. Because I feel that at least I already prepared for the best. So if really I did a little bit of mistakes, I'm still not so guilty, you know.
So do you remember for your first time standing in front giving speech, this kind of speech to them? What is your like emotions at that time?
I would say nervous. Very extremely nervous, because the first time I conduct ceremony, I was sent to outside case.
Okay.
Yeah. The first case I did was in clan. So actually clan cases are considered quite a little bit more complicated, because clan people, they have their own beliefs, they have their own culture. So and they really particular with speaking Hokkien, So when I was first sent to there, I was extremely nervous, because I heard a lot about clan cases, about the challenges in clan cases. So I was very nervous, but luckily the case considered quite simple. So and then I have some other staff helping me, assisting, giving some advice what to do. So still okay, everything considered smooth.
So as an MC, does this mean that you know about a lot of language?
Yes, we are required to know different dialects. But of course not everybody can speak like Cantonese, Hokkien, Hakka, everything together, very hard And then for myself, I feel that dialects is also part of my challenge, part of the challenge I face, because I'm not a Cantonese, and Klang Valley, most of the people, they use Cantonese. So when I first come to when I first attend this job, this is one of the target that is set by my manager for me. The second month, I would need to start conducting cases by myself, but using Mandarin. The first month would be training. The second month would need to start to take up cases, but I am just conducting Mandarin cases. And then what she said for me is, starting from the third month, I need to conduct Cantonese cases.
Okay.
So I have to force myself to learn Cantonese. So at that time, train very hard for Cantonese script.
Oh, so you now can speak Cantonese?
My Cantonese is still like very so-so.
Okay.
So usually they will tease me they'll say, this kind of slang those uncle very like, because your slang is like very like not Cantonese kind of slang.
They will make fun of it.
They say like 滚头水 like that.
Okay, so after like 1.5 years you working with this funeral company, then you change to interior design.
I started to take up courses in interior design.
Oh, you also interested in interior design?
That is what I wanted to do when one of my dreams was to become interior design. And then but due to my parents' advice, I take up psychology during my degree. And then but after that I feel like I feel that I should try out what I want to do. so that I won't feel sorry for myself.
At least you
Yeah,
chase your dream.
yeah. At least I tried before, you know.
Mm,
Mm.
okay. So today our topic is about resilience, like as we discussed before.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
according to what you have shared, what
Mm.
actually like you can describe one significant maybe some emotional attack or any attack that affect during your lifetime.
Actually, one of the very emotional time was also about loss lah.
Mm-hmm.
Losing my pet dog.
Mm.
Yeah, it's also about loss. And then feel very sad lah because that time when my dog it passed away, my mom don't dare to tell me.
Mm.
I was still in Utah that time, and then when I got home, I couldn't find my dog, and then my mom was like, oh, actually passed away already because kena snake bite lah.
Mm.
Yeah, so quite sad, and I think that is uh, part of the contributing factor that actually made me get into funeral industry as well because it's about death. Like
Yeah.
usually people will encounter things that everyone will encounter, but it's just sooner or later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at
So
that time you feel sad, any other behaviors or other emotions that you have while you are getting at that moment?
um, I feel that it's still affecting me until now, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just that I won't make myself too harsh on this kind of encounter.
What actually you done to like cope with it?
Coping wise,
Mm.
um,
Not like coping. How do you deal with this? Like because when there is emotion came, like you need to handle it. Maybe some people were telling me that they will put it aside while they went to work or anything, or when they try to talk about these bad moments, they will be like, okay, I still need to proceed, so that I will just make a deep breath, try to calm myself down, something like this.
I think when the emotion come, like if you want to cry, then just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Then when the time pass, everything will be fine. Yeah,
So you
just
believe,
don't hold too much with your emotion, like control, like suppress everything inside.
Mm.
It's like if I suppress too much inside, I feel that one day when I burst, then it will become worse.
Mm.
But eventually, if I let go of my emotion, like time to time, when I feel sad or anything, then just let it go. Actually, after I graduate from psychology and I take up funeral MC this kind of job, actually there are many comments about this. Like people will be asking like, you took your degree and you ended up in this kind of job. Like there are many comments here and there, and then after I resigned from funeral MC from my job and take up interior design, and then again people started to comment like, uh, why are you hopping from this industry to another industry? This kind of sayings like words here and there.
Yeah.
So usually, uh, I used to be a person who uh, take things very seriously, like people comments and everything. I will take it very seriously. So I think this is one of the things that I'm still learning. How should I uh, take it more easy, like people's comments, not to be so particular, not to be so like get into the dead end of what people say.
Mm.
If I really so concerned with everything that people comment on me, then it will be very stressful lah. I cannot satisfy everyone, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one of the things I suppose emotion or it affect me lah.
Mm. So what actually the emotional behavior you have while you get into these bad moments?
Yeah, I will feel very upset about their comments. I feel that why are you saying this kind of things? you are not me and you don't understand what I'm doing.
Sounds that you're getting angry about it.
Yeah, I will definitely be very angry. Yeah.
So how do you cope with this? Like, because we can't really like silence other people's how they comment about us. So how do you cope with this situation?
I feel that as time goes on, when we grow, we will know that I will know that what I'm doing, as long as I know what I'm doing, as long as I know what I'm doing is correct, is right, is what I want, then I will try to ignore what they say. So usually when they comment this kind of useless comments, I will be like, I will just nod at them, like, just ignore. If I take everything into my heart, then it will still affect my emotion. So for what for what I want to listen to those kind of comments so much. There's no use listening to them.
So while you get
So-
into emotion, because people normally will get into emotion, maybe sometimes, not every time, because you try to ignore, but sometimes people say words is very like straight and just very tajam lah. So like that affect your emotion. So what actually you will do at that time? If let's say
I
maybe you
will keep
recall something,
quiet eh.
okay?
And then if I really cannot tahan, I will shoot back lah.
Mm.
Because I feel that it's part of a way to release your own uncomfortable also. Yeah, that's what I feel lah. As long as of course I won't be like attack people, like using words inappropriate words to attack people. No lah, not these kind of things lah. Just in terms of that matter, then I will comment my own viewpoint. Yeah, I will react to what they say. Yeah.
So you will be like standing on your own point that you think is correct.
Yeah.
So you will be trying to explain to them that why is it this happened, or why is it this thing is like this.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So based on your experience, what can we do to upgrade our resident skills?
Based on my experience, actually, because I feel that part of my personality lah, I'm a person who very kiasu type lah.
Okay.
So I will try to make myself stand up back. So even when I fall already, I don't want people to, look down on me. I feel that I can do better. So I will still try to prove myself I'm the right one. So I will put in effort to do things that is correct, that is what I want, that's on the right track.
So you will be like keep on challenging yourself, like after you getting breakdown, then you will be like a very fast moment, like swift your emotion into a motivation to learn about new skills or new things, or like brush up your skills or anything to make yourself better to overcome it.
Yeah. Of course, at the moment, will feel upset lah, like sad or upset or angry. But after that, I will be like, if you really think of me like this, then I prove you wrong. I have this kind of thinking.
Okay, so you'll be challenging maybe others' mindset. Oh, I want to prove that you are wrong.
I think that is what makes me stand up again. That's one of my
actually quite good. Yeah. So what actually you will expect others to do while you get into emotion? Keep quiet. What actually you expect others to do while you get into emotions?
When I get into emotion,
Yeah.
I need some comfort. I will need some. I need an ear to listen to me. Yeah. So usually I will share and then share my stories or things like that to some friends, good friends. So I hope that they can listen to me and then they can give me some advice.
So you will be
That's what I
sharing
think.
your experience, your what you face, and hoping people will give you advice how to deal or how to solve this problem.
Yeah, correct.
So
because I feel that I am already in the chaos. I'm already in the mess. So I might need someone to point me out. Yeah.
Okay.
Because when you are in that emotion, you won't be able to think very straight. So at times when people say things, still need to filter what is useful for you, then you take it. Different people have different level of threshold in managing stress and bad moments. So I feel that if the person is resilient enough, then they can really stand back up very fast. Then they can like put in effort to change or to improve better.
Thank you for listening to us. That is all from our PGA volunteers. If you'd like to share or go online, please do not hesitate to leave us a message below. We hope to provide more assistance. Please like and share and subscribe our channel. See you in the next video.